Hello everyone, Mike here. Welcome to my newest episode, and today I will have something very special. Today my special guest will be Tim Frost, CEO of YieldUp. We will talk about YieldUp, about their product, about their future, about their plans, and everything connected with YieldUp. So, without any further ado, let's get started. And a little disclaimer here, this is a sponsored video, so if you have any problems with that, you should stop watching right now. If not, let's begin. My guest today is Tim Frost, CEO of YieldUp. Hello Tim, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Mike Satoshi, for having me today.
All right, I would like to ask you some questions about you, about your project. It's very well known among Polish community, but my first question is about your career, about your professional background. How did it all start? How did you enter this crypto space?
Yeah, absolutely. So I originally just became interested, like a lot of people. How do you make money in this new kind of crypto world? And quickly kind of fell in love with the space. I think the opportunity, and started meeting so many, would say, kind of almost crazy people trying to build kind of crazy dreams, and it was a lot of fun, pretty exhilarating, and in particular in fintech, I met the founding team at Wirex in early 2015, and they essentially started working with them kind of early on, became kind of that part of that initial founding team at Wirex, and then helped grow that company over the first year and a half. And I, really just fell in love with fintech overall, and digital banking, how much more efficient it could be, efficiency of just the way of money is going to be kind of utilized, and the efficiency of just building a fintech company that can serve so many more clients for so much less by just utilizing technology properly. So that was really my introduction to kind of fintech with Wirex, and after that I worked with many other early stage fintech companies. Just was kind of blessed to work with great fintech and blockchain companies, and that was all leading up to starting YieldUp, which was, say, we just had the kind of the 1 year anniversary of really founding the company a few weeks ago. And so it's been kind of a whirlwind of everything that's happened over the last year. But it's been fun, and I think even a lot more fun to come into this next coming year.
Yeah, about the YieldUp, let's talk about the history. Who came up with this idea? How did it all start? What inspired you to create this YieldUp?
Yeah, I'll kind of go down. I mean, I think I worked in the crypto space, and through that kind of ICO run, I completely became bearish on I guess the potential, especially on Ethereum, and I didn't really ever think it was going to go anywhere. And about March last year, I met a guy who I'd known previously, and we were talking about DeFi, and okay, it's this, and he started just every day we started just meeting and talking about it, and he just started showing me what was kind of building and through Ethereum. And then so over the course of a few weeks and a few months, just like it went from basically that Ethereum was going to zero to, oh my God, Ethereum's going to take over the world, type of reverse mindset that kind of came in. And then I guess over this time, it just it was so powerful what DeFi was offering. And okay, well, how can we tap into this? And it's like, well, how can other people tap into this? And obviously my background was growing early stage fintech companies, and taking them from nothing to essentially hundreds of thousands of users, and the basic idea came up was, can we build a front end wrapper to this that we could be able to bring in clients, and on the back end we're managing those assets in different variety of DeFi positions. So that was the basic idea of Yield App, and that was pretty much the spawn of what has now turned into to Yield App today, with over 57,000 clients, and we're getting close to about 400 million assets under management now.
All right, so let's assume there is someone watching who has never heard about Yield Up. So what problem do you want to solve? What exactly do you guys want to? Do you want to bring to this industry?
The simplicity of crypto wealth management, crypto banking. So we want to make it very simple, very simple products. I mean, everything we design our products, it's about the ease of use and simplicity, right? We want people to be able to deposit their crypto with us, and we have fiat rails now. People are starting to deposit fiat, and more rails coming in the near term as well. So we want people to be able to, essentially anyone, to be able to invest and earn on their base asset. So whether that's Ether, Bitcoin, or stable coins, just continue kind of earning yield every day. Just simple deposit, invest, and we take care of the rest. So just ease of simplicity, and people can be rest assured that their money will keep growing and their money's in safe hands.
Yeah, simplicity is a very important thing in this space, because there are a lot of people with basic skills. Sometimes they can barely use their computers or their cell phones, and they want to earn money. So yeah, simplicity is very, very important.
Especially in this world where there's such a crypto can be overly complex at times, and quite challenging for just interacting on a daily basis if you really kind of want to go to a pretty in-depth level at the core.
Yeah, I wonder if modern kids could use MS-DOS or Windows 95. Oh, Windows 95 was okay. Windows 3.11, would they be able to use it these days? Or maybe old PCs where you had to connect. There was no USB. So I remember those times. So modern kids are like, I plug in and it works, and basically that's all. It used.
Yeah, definitely. So it's definitely. I mean, they've technology is dumbified itself down to the point that you can hand a 2-year-old an iPad, right? They instinctively know how to use it, and so it's it's quite amazing of all the analytics and that we've got, which is in turn, right. It's helping to simplify everything. So whether it's digital money, your current money, or just being able to navigate your electrical devices, right? It is definitely getting when it has become extremely simplified. So
yeah, the world itself is simplified. Self-driving cars, self-earning money, things like that. All right. By the way, so it's as easy as you deposit, you invest, and you take care of the rest, like you said. By the way,
yes.
But there are competitors on this market. How do you stand out from those competitors?
Yeah, as any I think a great opportunity. There is always going to be a competition in the marketplace. In particular, we have quite a loyal community, and we just want to be able to provide very transparent reports to people, and offer them the products and services that they ultimately want. And so it's always like how do I say this question is always kind of interesting. Like, how do essentially similar companies, similar funding, like how do they end up with such different trajectories? And I think that we have a world-class team, and we have an A+ development team kind of on staff that is really developing, obviously, besides the platform, building very interesting tools and wallet systems for the DeFi world for our internal use. And we have very top tier portfolio managers on the fund side that have really built in a lot of structure into our kind of investment strategies. And overall, I mean, we've done this before. So I think when people talk, what is your competitive advantage? It's I think we've been here. We've done this. I think a lot of it's just about the people behind it, and that's particularly all we do. And there's some new things popping up here and there. Do we take them serious? Well, not, and particularly, no, not really. Especially if you see some of the teams, if they're, I mean, these are people sometimes they think they're working on 3 or 4 projects at a time, and so, I know that Yield App, I'm building 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? Because we are ultimately just in a race to build the best products and services and be able to just continue earning those yields that our clients are ultimately looking for in a safe and conservative manner.
All right. Let's say I want to deposit my money. I earn, I invest, and you do the rest. Can I withdraw anytime? Are there any limits?
No, there's no limits. That was part of what always we want to offer is obviously the trust, right? If you deposit $1 million in stable coins right now and want to withdraw it all at 20 minutes later, sometimes there will be certain delays, but overall, we handle the liquidity on our side, and we rebalance our portfolio on a daily basis. But as part of what we've always wanted to do is offer that instant liquidity, right? Because whether you're investing for 6 weeks or 6 months, you should have access to your capital. So we might have some slight delays when we kind of move forward, right? Because overall, it's particularly just on the very large withdrawals. As obviously, if you're investing, right, your capital needs to be deployed. So we just have to manage the liquidity on our end.
Yeah, those yields, they don't come from thin air. They are invested.
Sure.
Yeah. You invest them. So if I want to withdraw, like you said, $1 million, so I have to wait a bit. But basically, 99% of my viewers, I guess they won't try to withdraw $1 million. Of course, I wish them all have like $1 million invested or more. But
yes,
yeah, let's be serious. All right. By the way, about the deposits, can I use platforms? You've mentioned fiat currencies. Can I use, for example, credit card or maybe Apple Pay?
Yeah, you can use your credit card today. So you can kind of go into, if you have an account, you can log in and you have access to make local wire transfers and credit card and more and more options are coming online in the near term. Particularly, we're really building out our fiat capabilities because when we have some very good fiat rails coming online, which is going to really significantly reduce fees, which is all about, right? So if you want to transfer your Polish slaughter into Yield App, we want to make that as cost effective as we can, right? So you have a minimal FX exposure at that point.
Yeah. So, and when you have fiat currencies, you have to have regulations. So I guess you had to obtain a license, right?
Yeah, so we're quite heavily involved on this side. Industry has changed quite a bit, and I think there was a lot of free reign for multiple years in the crypto space, but particularly, I think over the last 6 months, we've really kind of seen the efforts on regulators kind of step up, and so you have 2 paths you can go in the crypto world. You can go full DeFi, which is basically anonymous teams. It's a bit of that I guess dark side of the industry, which we at the same time we do welcome those that are participating in this world and understand why teams would where they would run an operations anonymous or pseudo anonymous. But the other side is we are a fintech, and so we made that decision from day one. We want to be a good custodian for people people's capital and people trust it. And so we want to put ourselves and our faces on the website, and obviously we have to build up a proper corporate structure that ultimately just brings comfort to our clientele. So we have a crypto license in Estonia, and we have and through the Cayman Islands we have a fund manager as well. And this is I'd say still in that early build out stage. I'd say can't disclose fully what's going to be here, but in the coming months, right? There's obviously we just continue to build off of that. Ultimately, it's just building the proper procedures and make sure we have the proper oversight of our business, so people can have the most confidence they can.
Like you've said, either you go full DeFi, but then again, how can I trust you? Of course, I can try to trust smart contracts, but are they really so secure? Because we hear from time to time that it's hacked, the other one is hacked, there's exploit in one of smart contracts. So but when you are public, when I can see your face, when I can find who you are, then you build a trust. And then there's regulation. Of course, no regulations will ever stop everyone from doing something fraudulent. But then again, for me, I trust people more who I can check, who I can see their real names, their background, their history. So for me, it's a plus. By the way, was it hard to obtain those licenses? How is Estonia? By the way, why Estonia? It's country very close to Poland, and it's very popular. But were they the best? Were they the cheapest? How did it look?
Particularly, I mean, I previously lived in Estonia. Actually, have operated companies there before. Just particularly, I've seen how that jurisdiction has really evolved. Right, it was originally kind of evolving where there was essentially a flood of initial crypto licenses through there. The majority of those have essentially been revoked, and the barrier to entry has really kind of increased. But we have good legal counsel there. We have an operations office there, and part of our team working from there. And overall, it's about how do you kind of enter the market, and especially the European zone. So there's a kind of I guess a long reasons why Estonia became the kind of clear cut favorite, and it works. It's sufficient for us. We obviously are constantly evaluating more licensing opportunities. How do we just continue to build up our kind of or complete legal structure and our corporate makeup.
Yeah, a lot of fintechs and startups from Poland also go to Estonia because we don't have basically any regulations in Poland, unfortunately. We have taxes, we have some form of AML, but nothing else. And it's not going to change anytime soon. So yeah, we choose Estonia because Switzerland is much more expensive than Estonia, I heard it's harder to get a license there, so people choose Estonia.
It depends on your ultimate needs. I mean, I think that what's happening in Switzerland. There's quite a lot of interesting things happening. So I think it's an individual case by case basis.
Yeah.
I think when examining your particular business model.
And Estonia is a member of EU, so it's much easier to offer those products to the citizens of European Union. So, by the way, I guess if you're regulated, your members have to do KYC. Why do I have to do KYC up to level 2?
Because it's a great question. Actually, we're in the process. So, originally launching Yield app, the regulatory environment was probably a certain threshold. The proof of address, to kind of really cut down to the chase, proof of address really has become, it's going to become mandatory. So while you can do a kind of a liveness check, make sure this is actually you with your national ID. The global threshold is definitely increasing. So while you're seeing we're making it mandatory for having a proof of address, you're going to see this very, very common across the entire industry. I think for those companies that have not already moved on it, you would see that they're almost certainly going to be in the coming months.
Yeah, I completely agree. I always tell that to my friends. When wherever you have fiat currencies, you will have to do KYC. You will have to follow AML. So yeah, that's a normal procedure. You have to live with that, unless you want to go for
Yes,
crypto. But then
unfortunately,
again, yeah, unfortunately, but it happened,
it is.
and yeah,
This is we're giving guidelines, and the reality is we need to operate guidelines, and it's at the same time I think that we should almost be welcoming, right? Because it's we are getting legitimized. There was years where the regulators weren't even looking at crypto. Now they've realized this is a serious part of the future economy, and they need to understand what's going on. And the reality is we are moving money around, and just there's this is the reality in 2021 is KYC and AML is kind of important issues that kind of do plague regulators and different politicians throughout the world, and so we need to abide by the rules that are set.
yeah. Even one of the biggest exchanges had to go and talk to regulators now that they have introduced KYC. They have lowered the limits very, very low. So yeah, it happens. You can see it happens. By the way, let's talk about security. Is the yield, how secure is yield up? Can I be sure that my money are secure?
It's a good question. I think that this question does come up quite frequently. So I think there's a number of ways of obviously looking at this. So or CTO is built prior. He built the largest exchange in Southeast Asia, and while he's not publicly facing, he's very highly regarded throughout the industry as very top tier professional, and he's building out our next wallet systems as well. So it's at the forefront, and obviously the top concern of everything we do. We have the platform itself, which obviously is under multiple security layers, and as that's going to be built out. We have the actual wallet systems itself, as we are moving to a proprietary system I would say in the next 6 weeks, perhaps, when we kind of do roll out this V2. It is actually being tested. So that is always what the delays are, right? Just the amount of security, checks and balances that we constantly have to go through just to ensure that our product is going to be safe. So we go through very rigorous, painful exercises almost on a weekly basis of just security procedures, making sure that wallets and keys are split and secured properly, and it's quite a ordeal and quite a bit of a to build a responsible fintech company, especially that one is growing as fast as Yield App is.
By the way, do you have any insurance? Is Yield Up insured?
So today we have wallet assets in custody are insured through BitGo, up to $100 million coverage that we have. When you hit the invest button and you do invest, I would say we're working with a project called Steady State. We've been very actively looking of what insurance protocols are out there. How can we to bring that confidence to the market? We are working with Steady State and working very closely with them, but they're still a ways out from being a product ready for the marketplace. So it's a big hot topic and that goes in a lot of sectors. But I think that the biggest thing is obviously the insurance, right? So we obviously have a buffer zone. We will kind of guarantee against any particular minor losses with the platform, with our own liquidity and our own corporate treasury. However, there are a lot of questions that do constantly come up. In case of a potential exploit, and I think the biggest thing, and maybe people don't always love to hear this, but is this having the proper security procedures internally. So if as this is a very good topic. So for Yield App, we are obviously investing millions of dollars into kind of security infrastructure on our end, and we do deem that the best security that we can actually have, right, and the best confidence we can have for our clients is actually spending those $10-20 million ultimately on the security infrastructure to make sure that we have our own kind of Fort Knox type of setup, rather than offering that for a straight insurance pool. So it is a big of a mixed bag. But often the question comes up. People say, well, I have insurance with my bank up to $100,000, or it's different in every different jurisdiction. The difference is, though, the moment you actually invest that capital, if it's sitting in custody, yes, your money is insured. The moment you invest your money, even if that's with your bank, since your capital is not insured at that time, it's actually invested. So it's hard to get the best of both worlds. But I think that the biggest thing for any clients is, any consumers that are looking to invest with Yield App or any of our competitors is do your own due diligence on the team. Who are the people behind this, right? What is their track record? So I think we stand up behind what we've done and with Yield App and all the companies we've built before.
Yeah, and that's great. That's great. Thank you very much for your answer. By the way, let's talk about the future. So I guess when you run a company, you have to expand. There's a saying in Poland: if you don't expand, you go back. So you have to expand every day. By the way, do you have any plans, long-term plans for Poland? I'm Polish, so obviously I'll ask about my country.
We want to find. We love Poland. I'd say it's one of our top 3 markets worldwide, and so we're very blessed to have such a passionate community there. In particular, we don't have particular plans yet. However, if I talk to my CMO, he might have some things in particular in works. But overall, I mean, we're definitely open to ideas on what do the Polish community want more. We're starting our own relationship manager program, so that's actually a good point. We might need to hire a local native Polish-speaking professional. So if there's anyone out there that'd be interested, we are hiring on this topic.
Yeah, if you want to work with Yield App, just let the team know, and they will consider your application.
Yeah, we have a new website coming out soon. We'll have a careers page on it, and we definitely want passionate people that want to work for Yield App and crypto overall. We're always taking applications, and even if something is not necessarily listed, you can always reach out to us. So we're always looking to hire great developers, say marketing professionals, fund managers, relationship managers. I mean, we're hiring on a lot of sides. We're about 45 full-time staff. We don't grow quickly at this point. I think we're just continuing to just become a more efficient company. But we do hire, especially high caliber people that we think kind of fit the culture at Yield App.
By the way, recently I have checked that you have successfully launched Btc Fund. So is there a possibility that BTC will become your mainstay of the platform?
So yes, in short, we've only had two openings on our BTC fund for about 500 Bitcoins each for both for just a few days. And so we do have about 45 million in stablecoin now, or $45 million in Bitcoin with us now. It's it's actually up to about 1,000 Bitcoins now approximately. And so yes, in short, we will be opening up more and more Bitcoin opportunities, especially after we get to this V2. But we just see this as such a powerful, anyone that's really long on Bitcoin and Ether and some of the other assets, we want them to be able to put it with the Yield app and just continue to just grow those assets.
Yeah. Okay. Last topic for today. Let's talk about the crypto market. What do you think about this El Salvador decision about Bitcoin becoming a legal tender in Salvador? Do you think it's something big? Because some people try to depreciate it and say, okay, it's only El Salvador. It's not like Switzerland or Japan or even Korea. What do you think about it?
I think it's incredible. And just a few years ago, it was unfathomable, right? None of us would have really predicted this would have happened. So it's about giving, I guess, a choice, right, to more people, and so much of the world's population are plagued with national currencies that are constantly devalued, and so to give people a legal tender in I would say a more of an appreciation currency to be able to hold long term is quite it's very groundbreaking, and so I think this is only going to do just continue to do just amazing things for the industry overall. So I'm extremely bullish on that on those developments.
Yeah, I guess some people are watching this experiment. I guess we can call it an experiment, and I guess they have their doubts. Maybe some other jurisdictions, and if it works there, I guess they may consider doing it themselves.
My biggest concern is that people don't use Bitcoin for money, and so I think that's probably my biggest concern of a national, becoming like a national currency where essentially it's used as I think my analysis is it's a store of value, right? It's not used as money. I mean, I haven't even used Bitcoin in years. I literally haven't touched it in years, and so I just feel like it's such a dinosaur at this point, and especially seeing the transaction fees right now. I mean, it's got a lot of inherent problems. If especially in El Salvador, if people actually want to use this for their kind of daily their daily expenses and commerce trade. So, but again, I would say overall it's a very positive outlook on what things what's possible.
Well, I just checked. It's 6 cents right now to transact a Bitcoin. So compared to Ethereum, it's very, very cheap. But yes, if you want to buy a cup of coffee or something very, very cheap, it's not the best way.
Is that which network? Is that the Lightning Network?
No, Bitcoin itself. What 1 Satoshi per byte for the moment. So it's like 6 cents.
Okay.
So it's not that expensive for the moment, but then again, from time to time you have to pay like $20 or $50 to send Bitcoin. So yeah, I can see why do you think that. But then of course we can use Lightning Network. But I guess we have to. Yeah, Bitcoin is a store of value, but then again, it's a form of experiment because Keynesians tell us that if you have no inflation, then people won't buy anything because their money gain value. And I think it's bullshit because if you have to buy something, you will buy it. Some people will try to hold their money and they won't buy, but most of them, they want new phone, they will buy the new phone. So I guess we will have to wait and check out how this plays out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think it's a fantastic experiment. So I think that we all love to see what that actually the usage looks like.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's still it's giving people another option, which is always good.
By the way, El Salvador is the only country in the world where when you can pay in McDonald's or a Starbucks with Bitcoin.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Great fact.
All right. Last question. What do you think about crypto market? Let's talk about fourth quarter. Are you bearish or maybe bullish? What do you think will happen?
I've become quite bullish. I think that the world is kind of I say lining up for I'd say I think all the stars are lining. I think that we're going to have a pretty miserable winter with more COVID lockdowns and stimulus checks, and I think that we're in for a kind of a round three almost on this side, and and just overall, I think there's too many positive things happening in the crypto market. So I'm quite bullish for long term on just the industry overall. I'm not a trader. I don't like to price speculate, but I just think that there's there's too many good things happening, and I think everyone should be in crypto at some level. So
Yeah, like you've said, 2 years ago, no one would have thought that any country around the world would make Bitcoin legal tenders. So it's changing. Huge banks, huge institutions, DeFi space growing, crypto space is growing. So how can you be bearish?
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of tremendous things happening right now. So
All right, team. Thank you very much for your time. You have answered all of my questions, and you did that with flying colors. So I have no doubts myself. So, guys, if you want to work with Yield Up, you just message the team. So we will be expanding in Poland. By the way, there is a big financial conference in Poland next March, so March 2022. So I guess you may consider having your booth there or some form of advertisement, because it's not only crypto related. It's in Krakow.
yep.
But it's a very huge, very popular conference, and a lot of crypto people go there. So I guess it's called InvestCAF. So
Okay.
if you want, I can send you details. So I will be there.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, all right. I will.
Yeah,
send
no,
you.
please do. We definitely want to start getting out to events
Yeah, and
soon. So
and hopefully
we
next.
definitely interested in taking part.
Yeah, hopefully next year, next March, it will be coming back. Everything will be coming back to normal. We will have crypto conferences on a huge scale once again, because right now it's some of the, for example, in Poland, I have my local meetings. There is one more local meetings, and basically nothing, no conference, nothing is happening. So it's very sad. I love to meet people. All right, team.
Definitely.
Thanks for your time, and I wish you all the best with your company. I hope I will see you growing, expanding, and of course building the future of the crypto space.
Thank you, Mike Satoshi. It was a pleasure today, and love to come back again.
Okay, thanks.